Hey, what is going on? How are you? How are you? How are you? Welcome to another live on Cops, Court, and Community. And for those of you who do not know, I am. My name is Darnell Eason, and I am your gracious host right here on Cops, Court, and Community. So I wanted to come on spontaneously and unplanned live and just talk about a couple of things that I've noticed in the past, and nothing recent, but just over time, how I see a lot of people who really do not know the rules of the road, and I'm not quite sure one how much driving experience they actually have behind the wheel, or two, any driving instruction that they may have gotten. So I see a lot of bad driving out there, and I just wanted to present a video to you guys tonight, and pretty much break down what I see happened, some of the contributing factors to that accident, what could have led up to that accident. And I have a special guest joining me on the show a little bit later on, who I've mentioned before, who we've done work together, and that's going to be Big Mac Sam. From his YouTube channel, Big Mac Sam. So if anybody's been following me, any length of time, or Big Mac Sam, you know that he is a driving school instructor here in the state of New York. And I asked him to come on to give his opinion on what we see in this video. So as I always say, guys, please leave your comments and questions if you're here live in the chat section. To your right or left, depending on the orientation of your screen. And if you are here for the replay, please leave your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the comment section below. And like I said, guys, my name is Darnell Eason. I am your host of Cops, Court, and Community. So it definitely gives me pleasure to be here tonight with you guys. To bring you this video. So I'm going to jump right in to this video. There is no agenda other than what I explained. So there's not going to be anything that I normally do in my lives with respect to real stories from the street, stupid criminals in the news, comment of the week, or the Q&A. I might add actually a little Q&A at the end, but we're just really here to do something different, to engage with you guys a little bit more, hopefully to make you guys a little bit better at your driving as you hit the roads, whether you're a new driver, an old driver, or not. So I'm just really gonna get into that. So I appreciate you guys joining me here tonight. So let me just pull up this video, and I'm gonna just really play the video out first. And then, I'll start breaking things down as I see it. So let's just take a look. That was so close. All right, let's just look at it one more time. All right, just check it out. Pay attention again, obviously, to the car right here, the white little sedan. And let me just say this one, I really don't know where this is. We can clearly see that the type of vehicles that are here, specifically these tractor trailer trucks, really, we don't see them here in the United States. So definitely overseas somewhere. Or maybe south of us, and really could be north of us. But again, just take a look at this video again. That could have ended very badly. All right. So what do we see here? All right. We're gonna go frame by frame. Hold on. I'm sorry. We're gonna go frame by frame, and we're gonna break this incident down, and see exactly what it is that I see. Now, if I was the investigating officer, one, I probably would not have this video footage, directly at the scene, but I'm sure at some point, whatever their Transcom, company is that maintains these traffic cameras. I'm sure at some point, I would have been able to obtain this footage and then make, maybe a supplemental report to what I see here. But let's just break it down real quick. So again, I'm gonna go frame by frame, and try and break it down the best way I can for you guys. So let's just go advance a little bit. All right. So the first thing we see is one, it clearly appears that this white sedan here missed their exit. So they are now trying to figure out, in my opinion, how do I get off this exit right now? Right. But any good driver should know that if you miss your exit, go on to the very next exit. All right. Now, apparently, this particular driver here decided not to do that. Maybe they were running late. Maybe they were, I don't know, but they made a very bad decision here. But let's look at the factors that may have contributed to this accident. So if you look right here, to the top left, I'm sorry, top right of your screen, you see how the roadway looks very shiny right here, right? So in my opinion, it appears that we have some type of inclement weather. So it appears right here that the roadway is apparently wet, right? So looking at the footage also, I don't know if this is either very early in the morning, early in the evening. Maybe there was some type of cloud cover or fog or something, further back on the road that maybe prevented this motorist from seeing their signage. I don't know. But one thing that I know for certain is that this roadway is clearly wet. Now, here's an important thing for us here, that according to the United States or the U.S. Department of Transportation, there are nearly 1,235,000 automobile accidents each year related to weather. Now, a majority of those accidents happen during rainfall. That's 40% of these accidents. 46% of that 1.2 million happen during rainfall. And now when the pavement is wet, which is pretty much the same thing. If you have a rain event, then the pavement is wet, then 70% of those accidents are due to wet pavement. So again, looking at the right part of the screen, you can clearly see that it is wet. So let's just move forward just a little bit. And I'm going to go back because there's something that I need to bring to your guys' attention. All right. So moving forward, you see he's still trying to get off at the exit. A truck driver here, he swerves to avoid T-boning or having a traffic collision with this driver. He does a good job, obviously, avoiding the accident, but he himself has an accident. But let's just go back. All right, let's just go back. Let's bring the footage back. So, all right. So according to the federal standards here in the United States, and again, let me be perfectly clear, I do not know where this is in this vast world. But if this were in your local neighborhood in the United States on any highway, the federal standards with respect to these markings. So you see these broken white lines, all right, here and here. Federal standards require that these be 10 feet in length. All right. And now the space between these lines here. So you have one here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 here. They are required to be 30 feet apart. So if you do the math, if you count this as 10, 20, 30, 40, maybe 45, and then you add in another, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, another 120. So you guys do the math, but you see where I'm going with this. So the distance between this truck and this car is whatever the math is, right? So I'm assuming now, and again, I'm only assuming, why didn't this truck see this car at this distance between the two of them? Was he driving while he's distracted? Was he tired? Was he on his phone doing something that he shouldn't have been? Was he texting and driving? Again, maybe he's a truck driver. Maybe he's been on the road for quite a while and he's just tired. We don't know. We weren't there, but I'm just saying the point I'm trying to make is that there's enough distance between the two where he should have been able to see this car right here. So let's just move it again a little forward. I'll stop it here. Now, again, keep in mind 10, 20, again, maybe 25. And now you add in another 90. He's still in the lane. He's still moving forward. Another factor is we don't know what speed this vehicle is traveling at. But you would think, hey, what is this car doing? Let me try and slow down, or maybe let me move out of the lane. But we see that he's attempting to do something, but let's just move forward again. All right, I'll stop it here. Now he's still sitting in the same position as he is now that he was when this truck was further back on the roadway. Now, again, 10, he's still not here. So if he's covering half of this line, which should be 10 feet, 5. So now you got 15 here, right? With the two broken white lines, you got 30 here, and he's probably half of the distance between the two broken white lines. Now, at this point, if he's, again, paying attention, he should be saying to himself, what is this car doing? Is he disabled? I really should be applying the brakes at this point, to slow this vehicle down or try and get out of the way, right? We don't know what he's doing, but let's just move it forward just a little bit more. Stop it here. Car's just inching out into the lane, a little bit further. Now, again, I'm still going to give him 5 feet for this particular broken white line. This guy is just at the end of, here. He's just at the end of that broken white line. So now you got 30 feet here and 5. 35 feet. That's not enough time to stop. I know that you guys watching this, clearly that would not be enough time to stop without having some type of accident. But let's move forward just a hair. All right. So it appears from the angle of this video that probably halfway into that. So maybe he went into that, maybe 20 feet, maybe. So at that point, he's starting to react. He's saying, oh, beep, I'm going to have an accident. I need to take evasive action. So he starts swinging the truck over into this zebra striped area. Well, that's what we call it here. It's a zebra striped area, or really a safety zone. So he's starting to switch over into that safety zone to avoid the collision. Now, I said to myself, wait a minute, why wouldn't he just go over to the left lane, right? Well, one, I don't know. Maybe he sees that this bus is coming and he's figuring, all right, one, I don't have enough time because I might cut this guy off. Maybe he's going to rear end me and we're going to have an accident. So I figure, or he's figuring, or she, maybe they are figuring, all right, I have more of a wide berth here between this car and this safety zone. So that's my best option. But let's just move forward again. All right. So right here, clearly does not hit the vehicle. But if you notice, something else is going on that contributed to this accident. We already established that the roadway is wet. Now, I'm going to jump into the comments real quick. And I want to ask you guys, what do you think is going on right now that's going to be a cause of this accident? So let me just jump over into the comments to see what we got here. So we got Big Mac Sam who's chiming in. We have the Barefoot Vlogger. I hope they got the white car's plate Trucks crash, trying to evade him, and he escapes off the exit ramp. Jeez. All right, so this comment is from our friend of the show, the Barefoot Vlogger. Clearly, T, you see what's going on. So no one has any thoughts, any suggestions as to what we see, what's going on? Well, this is what I see. I see that the trailer of this vehicle is now starting to list to the left. All right. So my left, your right. I don't know the orientation, but you can see the back of the trailer is starting to list a bit to the left. So what I'm seeing here is that whatever load this guy is carrying, he is clearly unsecured. So it's sliding to the left and it's causing the trailer now to move very hard to the left. Right. So let's just move. I'm sorry. Big Mac Sam is saying that it doesn't show your cursor. All right. My apologies. I thought it does. On my end, I can clearly see it. All right. But let's just move forward. We'll stop it here. Now, when he first made that evasive action, what did we see? We saw the vehicle shifting to the left. Now it's clearly now rolling to the right. Right? We see it rolling to the right. So my original assumption was that whatever he had, whatever load he was carrying, clearly unsecured. So it's moving freely in the back of this rig. So now it moved to the left because of that inertia. Now it's going to the right, and the force of it is now still moving to the right. Although he's corrected, you can see that the vehicle is clearly straight. So he corrected the vehicle to continue straight. But due to the weight of that cargo and the inertia that's forcing that cargo and the trailer to go to the right, it's continuing to go right. This is going to be the result. Done. He rolls over to the side. But if you can, you can see just a very little bit that the cargo that is inside of the trailer, it's starting to come out. I know it happens very quickly, but you can see that it's starting to spill out onto the roadway. Now, that's a separate accident. But if you look further back up the road, up to the top left of the screen, again, I don't know if it's your left or my left, you can clearly see that there's another tractor trailer coming down the road. So now he's either focused on his speed or he's looking at this accident saying, oh, shoot, I need to do something. So let's just move the video forward again. So at this point, you see what's going on. He's taking evasive action very early. Again, count the broken white lines. How many do you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 before he decides to move over to the adjacent lane. And if you count the spaces in between, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have another 120 feet. You guys do the math. I'm not the mathematician, but you guys do the math. So he's clearly taking evasive action early. All right, let's just move the video forward just a bit again. So at this point, something is going on. He made he made the decision very early. Let me move over, get out of the way of this tractor trailer that's on the shoulder. And clearly, I don't know what's going on in the mind of this guy in the white car. He or she must be saying, oh, shoot, I just caused a very bad accident because of my stupidity and not getting off or not following the rules of the road. But let's just focus on this truck here. So what's going on with this truck? Now you see the cab of the truck is now heading back into the right-hand lane. And let's just move the video forward a little bit. All right. This is classic, what they call jackknife. Something's going on with the truck. So based on what I see, and I know the video isn't as clear, but keep in mind, the roadway is wet. Will that cause a jackknife situation? Not entirely by itself. but I can clearly see to the left by the guardrail and where the trailer is, I see some type of misting. So either one, that's mist from the wet road, or two, his brakes are locking up, and that's actually smoke and not mist from the roadway. So let's just move the video a little bit forward. But before I do, let me just jump into the comments and see where we are at. Barefoot Vlogger says, just like bikes have their own bike lanes, they should have truck only lanes. Some countries have truck only highways. Very interesting. I did not know that. Trucks and cars should not be driving together. It's a recipe for disaster. I agree with you, Terry. And if you think about our neighbor to the south, New Jersey, when you get on that New Jersey Turnpike, you have cars only section of the New Jersey Turnpike, but then you also have a cars, trucks, and buses. So that makes a lot of sense. I haven't seen that anywhere else as I've traveled, south. As far as Georgia, that's as far as I've driven. So I really have not seen that anywhere else. Rolling on 3 Wheels is here. What's going on? Keith Hammer saying, how are you? What's going on, brother? Appreciate you joining, and I appreciate all of you joining. We got Cartoon Mark saying, hey, what's going on, man? Great video the other day. As I mentioned, Cartoon Mark, just like the Barefoot Vlogger, Rolling on 3 Wheels, Big Mac Sam, all of these are my fellow content creators. Please go check out their channels and support the work they do. Every one of their channels definitely adds something to the YouTube community. So I appreciate you guys subscribing. Doesn't cost you anything. Give them a follow. Check out their videos. Give them the thumbs up. I say it all of the time. It only helps us continue to do what it is that we do here. Big Mac Sam says jackknives are disasters. Yes, they are. And Rolling on 3 Wheels. Thank you so much, my friend, for the $1.99 donation. A big supporter of the channel. I appreciate you, brother. We started this journey together many years ago. Not going to get into that. You guys should know the story by now. But let's just continue forward. And Big Mac Sam, although he's here, he should be joining the show relatively shortly to give his opinions on what it is that he teaches his students as he's giving them instruction. So let's just move forward again. So again, we see that the vehicle is starting to jackknife, and very luckily and narrowly escapes having an additional accident with this vehicle. So at this point, we should be getting Big Mac Sam popping in any moment. I'm going to run through the video again. Very close, very close to having an accident. Wow. Very lucky. And as the Barefoot Vlogger pointed out, he or she is just like, you know what? Hey, I got my exit. I'm out of here. Doesn't make any sense why I need to stick around. I'm not affected. But unfortunately, that particular car caused the whole mess. But let me just go back, because I failed to point something out a moment ago. Just bring the video back. So I wanted to ask, what do you think the cause of this vehicle starting to jackknife? And I have my assumptions. I have my theory as to what's going on. So again, we don't know what the speed is on this particular roadway. We don't know what the speed of this particular tractor trailer is, but we do know that this white car is traveling at 0 miles per hour or kilometers, whatever it is, where this video was taken from. But my assumption as to what's going on here is that maybe this particular tractor trailer is driving at a speed where he's feeling, all right, I'm not going to be able to stop safely in time. So he's probably on those brakes very hard. And like I said, that mist might not just be mist. It could be that the tires are heating up and it's causing the smoke. So he's locking up only because these two cars that are just passing this white car here could be slowing down or just out of frame. We don't know if that first tractor trailer that flipped over, even though he started sliding forward, we don't know if he slid back into the roadway enough where these cars are slowing down to just squeeze by, or the roadway is completely blocked. I don't know. However, one thing that I do want to point out is a couple of things. Maybe they were slowing down for that. Maybe they were rubbernecking, which is just as bad of a problem, because they're probably hitting the brakes because they want to see what's going on. They're probably sitting there taking out their phones, videotaping or taking pictures, and they're causing more of a problem, which in my opinion is why this tractor trailer probably decided to slam on his brakes, causing his trailer wheels to lock up, forcing the jackknife. And, we all see the result of what occurred. Which is that. Unbelievable. So let's jump in. We got Ron White giving us the eyes. What's going on, brother? How you been? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well. His comment is, we all know what this means. Appreciate you checking in, brother. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Barefoot Vlogger saying, the evasive action of the truck caused the jackknife. The weight behind him, inertia, and high center of gravity was too much. Appreciate you chiming in there. That's very possible what could have happened. And Big Mac Sam is saying, and then it happened to two trucks. What's up with these two truck drivers? Listen, I wish I knew. But listen, Big Mac Sam, we all waiting on you, brother. Please jump into the live. Please jump in so we can get your opinions, your professional opinions. You should have the link in your email right now, brother. While you do that, let's see who we got here. Hey, Han, what's going on, man? What are we talking about today? Well, what we're talking about right now is this accident while Big Mac Sam jumps into the studio. I'll just replay the video for you. We were just talking about this particular accident caused by this car here. Big Mac Sam, did I send the link? Yes, I did. He doesn't see it. Please bear with me. This is live, so let me just double check our special guest link. I'm going to try and send it again, so please bear with me. Rolling on three wheels, send him the link. I'm going to send it to you as well. We'll get Keith Hammer in on this as well. Guys, thank you so much for being with me again. This is live. This is live. No editing here, folks. Yeah, Big Mac Sam, I'm not 100% sure which email this is coming from, unfortunately. Because it's automatically populates. There's a couple of them that I got here. So just check that spam folder of yours. Rolling on three. You got it, brother. Give me a second. Big Mac. Okay. I see where it's coming from. I'm not going to put it out there. It should be ending in 2626, Big Mac Sam. Let me send Big Mac Sam this thing again. Hold on. All right, Big Mac Sam, I just sent it to you again, man. Double check your emails. You should have it. Ahan says, looks like it happened in Europe. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, man. I was not 100% sure where this video came from. I had it for a little while, and I just wanted to do something a little bit different, step out of my normal comfort zone. But if anybody knows, and I know Keith Hammer knows, I was actually approached a few years back by a production company. And, they said, hey, listen, we've been watching, your videos for a little while now. And we're, putting together this program for PBS. And, we figured, we would like to have you, on the show, pretty much doing what I'm doing here now. They had a whole bunch of clips of all of these accidents in the show. You can look it up. It's called The World's Worst Drivers. So they wanted me to come on and pretty much give my, professional opinion on what, was the cause of how an accident, could have been prevented. But, I was sitting around waiting and just never heard anything. And then the following year, they reached out again. They said, hey, listen, we're still watching. We just really didn't, get things moving like we wanted to. But we're getting ready to start filming season 2. And we still want you involved. We're going to be in New York, so let's set up a meeting and, hammer this, this deal out. And, we'll finalize, the plans to get you on the show. So I'm like, great, man. I knew this YouTube thing was going to be big, but man. So, as they, started getting closer and closer to flying into New York, probably a week before they got here, they said, hey, listen, we're going to be there next week. Let's set up something. You'll come to the hotel. We'll have lunch, whatever the case may be. So I'm like, wonderful. Let's do it. So one of the producers from the show was like, hey, listen, we need you to be in uniform. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll put on a uniform for you. And they were like, no, we need you in your uniform. So I'm like, that's going to be a deal breaker because my job is not going to allow me to be on television in their uniform. In a sense, it's their uniform. So they was like, oh, but, we need you in your uniform because it shows, your authority. It shows that you are a true law enforcement officer. I said, listen, it's not going to happen. And I know it's not going to happen because we had a lieutenant many years before. If you remember the car, the Saturn, she was actually in a Saturn commercial in her uniform, but without the patches on the uniform. They made her strip it down to the bare minimums. You couldn't even make out anything. But she was in the Saturn commercial. But I just knew that, even asking them, permission to do it, it just wasn't, going to work. And even if they did later on, something could have happened and they would have came after me. It just wasn't worth it. So, I told them I can't do it. And then they were like, oh, we're sorry to hear that. But at the end of the day, they end up going with some officer in California. But listen, I'm still open to, helping out any way I can with anything that anybody, wants to do with me. I'm here for you. So we got Big Mac Sam in the green room. Let's bring him in right now.
Oh.
What's going on, Sam? How are you, brother?
How you doing, man?
Doing well, man. Welcome. Thank you so much, guys. This is
problem.
Sam, Big Mac Sam, right on YouTube, man. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Today, man. So you saw the video.
Yeah.
Let me just bring the video back up and
Sure.
let's just talk through it real quick.
Okay.
And tell me what you see here. Tell me if I'm off base. So you want me to run through it? Do you want me to run through it, or do you want me to go frame by frame? How do you want it done, bro?
Yeah, go right through it.
All right, let's just go right through it.
Yeah. Okay, see how the truck driver is coming too fast, too close?
Right.
He should have noticed that a long time ago.
Right.
When I was giving highway lessons to my students, I always told them, look, 12 to 17 seconds ahead of you, like 15 seconds ahead of you. For every 10 miles per hour you're going, you should be a car length away. So if you're going 50 miles per hour, at least 5 cars lengths away or more, and it's better even more than that. I always tell them. You know, and I mean, and first of all, that driver with that white car right there, he stopped on a highway with traffic moving. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You never ever stop on a highway that's traffic is just blowing by. I mean, the only time you stop on a highway that's traffic is blowing by like that is never. I told my students never. Just don't do it.
So what is, I mean, I know what the proper thing to do is.
Yeah.
I mentioned it at the top of the live, but tell us as the professional driving school
Mhm.
instructor, what are you supposed to do when you miss your exit?
That's a good question. I mean, common sense is gonna tell you if you miss the first exit, take the next one. The next one might be farther down, a mile, 2 miles, because I've driven across this country. Sometimes I miss my exit to go to a restaurant or something, you know. And if you miss your exit, just grab another one. You know, even there's a million and one ways to get to a destination.
All
If
right.
you miss your first exit, take the next one, because this can happen right here. You just don't stop in the middle of the highway and just try to take that exit. Wait until cars clear off and take that next one. Just keep going, keep driving until you see the next one. When you see the next one, you're gonna have to do a U-turn and get on the other side of the highway to come back. I mean, it's so many different ways to get to your destination.
Right. So something that I found out doing my research, one, that question, what we just discussed, is actually on your learner's permit, or the written test,
Yeah.
for your license here in the state of New York. But something interesting that I found is that 31%, and I forgot the actual number that they based it off of, but 31% of the people that took that exam actually got it wrong. And I guess whatever polling that they did, whatever questionnaire,
Now,
31%,
which
31%,
exam? Which exam are you talking about?
the New York State driver's exam.
Oh, just the knowledge test, the written test you're talking
Yes,
about? Oh,
correct.
yeah, yeah.
31% said
Mhm.
that, well, 31% got it wrong, and 31% said that was a hard question. So again, we know that this is not here in the United States, but you
Yeah.
would think that, you know, there has to be something written somewhere. Uh,
Now,
Go ahead.
Now, are you talking about the licensed drivers that took a test? You mean?
Yes, correct. That written
Okay.
exam, the written exam that you have to
Yeah.
take,
Yeah.
31% got that question wrong, which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But
That's wow. And as a matter of fact, when I do my 5 hour classes on the weekend, and I do my 5 hour classes on Saturday morning and Monday, every other Monday in the evening from 5 to 10. And what I do is I have 26 questions in the beginning of the class, and I have a bunch of questions with educational material at the end of the class. So in the beginning of the class, the questions are to see how much they know, you know, to see what they know. And at the end of the class is to see what they picked up from the class. And a lot of the questions that I ask them, they get it wrong also. And even though they got their permit, they passed, but they still getting some wrong answers, and I correct them, you know.
all right, there's one thing that I picked up real quick, and I'm going to get to that. Keith Hammer is in the green room. Just give me a nod. You want to jump in now? Yes or no?
Brother Keith, come on.
No. All right. So after Big Mac
Oh,
Sam, I'll bring you in. Is that what you want? All right. So, all right, cool.
okay.
Just give me the thumbs up in the green room. All
All
right.
right.
So something that I just saw real quick. Now, again, we saw that the tractor trailer here started taking a little evasive action. But if you look real quick,
Too late.
all right, I don't know if he was, just take a look. Watch the white car. He's been sitting there for a minute,
Yeah.
but he starts to move forward just a little bit. And I think that's when the truck driver actually starts to react. So just take a look.
Yeah. Yeah. He should have been able to predict some bad action that driver in the car was going to be doing, you know, because when you're a driver, you're supposed to at least kind of predict other drivers' actions, you know.
Gotcha. All right. Ahan just checked in. He said this happened in East China. So thank you so much for doing that research.
Oh, we found out. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh,
All
that's
right. So
wow.
is there anything else that you see here that could have been prevented other than the white car continuing down the road to get off at the next exit? Is there anything that you, as the professional, what would you have told your students? Or what, actually, forget about that. What could have been done differently?
You mean with the truck drivers, the way they acted, or the driver? Just
anything that could have prevented it. I mean, if this was a sunny day, you know, obviously the roadway is wet from what we can see here. Is there something that you would have done differently? What do you think could have been done to prevent this accident from happening?
Just don't stop in the middle of the highway. Just keep going. And I also tell my students, now they changed the following distance. You know, the vehicle in front of you, they changed it from 3 seconds to 4 seconds. So when I was taking the training at the college, they, you know, a safe following distance used to be 3 seconds. They changed it to 4 seconds. And a lot of drivers don't know this, or even some of the driving instructors that had to tell them. I had to tell one particular driving instructor about that because he didn't get the memo. You know, he, I think, has it when he was trained, he was trained with the old stuff, but they did studies and they upped it to 4 seconds. The safe following distance is 4 seconds, and that's for dry roads. I always tell students, for dry roads, if it's going to be wet roads, you want to double that, and if it's going to be snow, sleet, you know, black ice, you want to triple that, or just stay off the roads completely.
All right, cool. Listen, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, no problem.
You know, just hearing it from, you know, the professional who's teaching our, you know, up and coming drivers, in a sense, you know, the rules of the road. It's very important to hear what you're teaching them. But thank you so much for taking the time out to pop into the live. I'm sorry there was a little technical difficulty where you're getting, getting the key to get into the studio. And
that's all right.
But I definitely appreciate you joining us, man. And you know, I hope to catch up with you very soon. As I said before, guys, we have Sam from Big Mac Sam right here on YouTube. Please subscribe. Go check out his channel. Check out his work, and you know, be a supporter of his channel. Sam, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you taking the time out. All right, guys, thank you so much. And now, guys, let's bring in a longtime friend of the show, a longtime friend of mine, Keith Hammer from the YouTube channel Rolling on 3. Let's get him in here.
Yo, what's up?
What's going on, brother? How are you, man? How are you?
It's good, man. I was doing some studio editing. I saw you was on live. I said, let me take a time out to join in my boys live here. So
yes, appreciate it. You know, I wanted to do something different, you know, so just jumping in unannounced, taking a page from the Barefoot Vloggers, you know, repertoire, just jumping in there unannounced, you know, and doing what we do here. And this is very passionate, you know, for me, and you know it. And I know, you know, everybody that does anything on YouTube, they're just not doing it just for the hell of it. It's because they enjoy it. I know you enjoy what you do, the Barefoot Vlogger, Big Mac Sam. I know it, you know. So what's going on, man? You came to share some insight on.
I was watching it, and you know, you want to bring that video back up because you know, me and you both know what it's like to respond to accidents and deal with, and when we sometimes when you're lucky enough to even speak to the person who caused the accident, you'd be like, why were they even driving?
Yes.
But I can tell you one thing. When you are on the highway and you are moving and, you know, you're putting some distance, you do get a tunnel vision. And even though that car was stopped on the road, sometimes it takes a little more for you to register that car in front of you is not moving.
I mean, listen, if
you know, the distractions we get very distracted when it comes to driving. I mean, that's a fact. You know what you're supposed to do, but you know, that split second of not paying attention, enjoying the scenery around you, looking at the girl in the car next to you, and then you take your eyes off the road for 1 second, and wham, you got somebody stopped on a highway where everybody's doing, you know, 50, 60 miles an hour.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But do you see something, obviously, that I didn't see? Maybe you noticed something, but it's clear this car should have never stopped. You should have continued, you know, up the highway and gotten off. There's nothing. If you're late, you're already late, you know. And if that truck had to hit you, you would have really been late, you know, to where it is that you were trying to get to. So I just didn't understand why this particular person didn't just continue on, man. It
looked like the person stopped and then was trying to make the decision whether they should go forward or make the turn, because they even had a decent amount of time to even make an abrupt cutover. I mean, which is not good anyway. But I just don't know why the person just didn't pull into the zebra stripes and then, worst comes to worst, back off the highway. I mean, you had so much roadway to make that stop right there when you have all that dead roadway, that safety area of the roadway to pull over and get your bearings. I mean, it was just, to me, 100%, the white car's fault. I mean, I wouldn't fault the drivers. They all made evasive maneuvers. None of them hit them. So they all made evasive maneuvers. So I would have to say it was 100% the white car's fault. Stopping in a highway, Summersville offense in NYC, and throw the book at them.
Yeah, for sure. Ahan is dropping a comment saying, I think Germany takes driving to the next level and has better drivers. I don't know about that. I do have family that's from Germany, and they tell me, hey, listen, they drive very reckless there. So I'm not 100% sure where that information is coming from, but hey, listen, it is what it is.
Driving is driving no matter where you go, right? So it's a steering wheel, brake, speed limit, and other cars on the road, right? Everybody got the concept. That's why you can go. That's why you can go to any country and rent the car, no matter where you're from.
Yeah, true indeed. True indeed.
And some places you don't even need a driver's license. Just a decent credit card and a passport, and you'll get a car. So the whole point of driving is pretty much a standard. How you treat it and how you do it is what makes the difference, right?
Absolutely. Barefoot Vlogger saying they have the Autobahn in Germany, no speed limits. Listen, I've heard about that, and I've heard when cars wreck out, they have a very good response team, and they clean up that accident, whether it's a fatality or not. They clean that roadway up and they get it back open real quick. Big Mac Sam says he'll be back if I'm around. Gotta go eat. Take care, guys. Listen, thank you so much, man, for jumping in and giving that insight to us. Appreciate it. Ahan saying the driver got away scratch free, and we will never know what he or she was thinking. Yeah, 100% right, bro. We won't know at all what they were thinking.
That's the bad part, and every day you see it. And I have to say, from experience and a few documented accidents I have, it's always let's say 85% driver error.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed. Yeah. If not a higher number.
Right. It's got to be, because roadway, okay, yes, there's always things on the road. There's always dangers on the road, bad weather, potholes, debris, all those things. Yes, those things can cause accidents 100%. Not even your fault. But then you have the accidents where it's driver error, where the driver decided to stop on the highway because he missed his exit, or he decided he was going to look down on his phone, or eat a sandwich while he was driving, or tie something to the top of his car that wasn't secure and left it in the roadway for everybody else to deal with. It's driver error. It's always driver error. If you pay attention more, remember, driving is a privilege, right?
Most people don't realize that. It is a privilege. It's not a right.
Right. And it can be taken away at any time. No matter what people try to say or try to argue, you do not have a right to drive. And if the state that gave you a license feels that you should not be driving a vehicle anymore, they will take it from you. At least in America.
Right.
Don't know in other countries, but I tell you, in America, I've seen it enough times where the state is tired of you and they say, you know what? You're not driving anymore.
Yeah, true indeed. But now, of course, we got to go back to the whole Driver's License Reform Act. So the state was saying, hey, we're getting tired of you, but wait a minute, we still want your money. So give us our money and we'll let you drive again. So that's a whole nother story.
That's another story, because I'm hearing that a lot of people are now not qualifying for this program. So it's one of those things sound good on paper
Right.
until you have to go fill out that paper.
Yes. Yeah. Which, I'm going to be doing a follow up on that because I'm still getting
that's a good one.
Still getting a lot of emails. People still saying, "Hey, what's going on?" Hey, I haven't paid my Easy Pass. They took my car, my license. I'm like, that's something separate and apart. So I'll probably get into that. But if you're not paying your tolls and they suspend your license, suspend your registration, take your car, that's got nothing to do with the Driver's License Reform Act. That's something completely and separate apart.
No, it has nothing to do. People always understand, and I've seen a lot of social media posts about, Easy Pass in other states, and they're taking their cars. People don't understand that it's not attached to your driver's license. That's attached to the registration of your vehicle. Mm-hmm. And just like everything else, I just saw an article that, the sheriff's department went out and told since July 5,000 unregistered vehicles off the streets of New York. Yeah. And people like, oh, but it's not about what you feel. It's about the facts. And the fact is, if you have your car and you don't register it, or your registration is suspended, or whatever the situation may be, no matter what you think is right, it's not going to float here in New York. You got to have plates. You got to be registered. You got to be insured. If not, you run the risk. And that's, I think, is a big problem. People feel, but they don't have the facts.
Right. Yeah, I saw something not too long ago, and I can't quite remember the quote, but it was specifically something about, pay attention to, what the law is and not the tidbits of the misinformation, that you've been given. So I'm just like, yeah, people take those little tidbits and, they try and make it and fit, to their particular situation, but that's just not how it works. Ahan. You about to open up a can of worms, Ahan. Ahan is saying we have the right to travel. Yes, you do have the right to travel. You're 100% right. But you don't have that right to have a license. It's a privilege. That's why they say your privileges.
You have the right to travel. You can travel by any conveyance you choose, except for the one that was bestowed to you by your state. Yep. If you want to have the right to travel, yes, you can take your 2 feet and walk across any part of this country as you want. You can buy a train ticket, a plane ticket, right? And still get around. I've always had this situation. Well, I know you've had it, and where you do a car stop and the person says, I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
Right.
So if you're not driving this vehicle, then who's operating it? And I'll take it back even further, where I had a discussion with someone. So I said, okay, you see the bus that just went by? The bus was operating the vehicle, right? If the bus driver ran over your mother and he said, well, I wasn't operating it, I was just traveling, would that be good enough for you in court?
No.
Exactly.
Definitely wouldn't be good.
That's another thing where I say you're mixing up facts with feelings, right? You feel you can travel anywhere you want, and you can, but not by a way that was bestowed to you by licensing. You have the right to a dwelling, but if your dwelling has to be licensed by the state you're in, then you can't have that dwelling. If that was the case, we would be building houses all over the corners.
Listen, Ahan's dropping another comment, and I'm going to tell you, I'm not even going to answer this one. Please do me the honor. Don't need a license to travel in your own personal property. You want to handle this one?
Yes, I will. He says a bus driver is with the government. So you're going to tell me that the guy driving the tour bus is a governmental worker? The one driving a tour bus up and down 42nd Street in Manhattan? No, he's just a regular person. Or in your question, he would just be a traveler of the bus, not the operator, right? Because I know a driver's license, if you read it, is a license to drive a vehicle. That's what it is. A license to travel doesn't exist. That's called a passport.
Indeed.
See, once again, Mr. Hand is mixing up facts with feelings. He assumes that all bus drivers drive for the government.
Maybe he's thinking like the MTA or, New Jersey Transit, that. But I don't think he factored in, the private, bus companies that are out there, Big Apple Tours and things like that.
That's what happens when you mix your feelings with facts.
Indeed. All right, we got another one. Commerce. All right.
No.
Hold on. Let me get the Barefoot Vlogger. Saying, got to run, guys. Hoping to upload a vlog tonight. Great show. Enjoyed the guests and topic very much. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you so much.
Hi, bro.
As
see those vlogs.
Yes. Listen, as I always say, please, if you have any interest whatsoever, to go to Florida, whether it's East Coast, West Coast, Central Florida, the Panhandle down to the Keys, please go check out the Barefoot Vloggers YouTube channel. Very entertaining, very informative, does some fantastic work. I'm very envious.
I got some traveling tips from him next time I go on vacation I could use.
There you go. All right. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate you checking in.
Yo, man, no problem, man. Good show.
All right, man. Listen, we got to do it again. We got to meet up. I got a couple things to run by you anyway, but I'm going to be saying good night. It was fun, very informative. This was just, on the fly, no agenda, but I'm going to be doing more of these and probably doing some more field work since I got that new equipment, and appreciate you helping me out with that. So I'm looking forward to getting out there.
All right, bro. I'll see you. I got some work to do too. I got some editing.
All right, brother. Thanks so much. All right, guys. Appreciate you checking in, joining me with tonight's show. I hope it was informative. I hope you got something out of it. The biggest thing is if you miss your exit, guys, just please go on to the next exit. It's very important. You see what can happen if you make the mistake or make the decision to do what this particular car did. So I thank you so much. As I always say, guys, what's very, very important to me is this particular Bible verse, 1 Peter 3:8. And it says, finally, all of you, be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate and humble. Again, I think if everyone followed this small little principle, I think we all would be better off in this world. Thank you so much, guys. I definitely hope to see you in the next live. Thank you for joining me. Again, if you are checking out this replay, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please make sure you put them in the comment section below. Please check me out on one of these social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter. I don't know what the heck happened to my Instagram account. Got hacked, but I'm working on getting that back right now. But thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. And as I always say, I'll see you in the next video.